Hello everyone, my name is Clantus and welcome to the clan. So without further ado, let's get into this video where we are doing the self-appointed expert segment. And guess who's back? Whenever you see this, that means I am filming from the office and I'm sweating bullets because I'm about to start work in the next 15 minutes. So I came quickly so that I can do this. So here in this segment, if you are new, everybody that is new on this channel, welcome. I see you. I see you all. I see your comments. Thank you all so much for coming through. Make sure that you have clicked the bell notification so that you get notified every time I upload a new video. And please watch the ads. Thank you so much. Anyways, guys, let's get to your comments. And wow, your self-appointed experts came out to play last night. Thank you all so much for that. So let's start with Solomon. Solomon says the killer is in the house. Yes, Solomon, you and I and the whole entire clan believe the same thing. Zotwa says, Baloi, what he's doing, he will come back to him. Soon that party must go now to a open case against Mgomezulu. Yeah, the Mgomezulu issue is something that I want to keep out of, but I'm so tempted to make comments on it because as far as I'm concerned, it was a long time coming. We knew somewhere in the back of our heads that the MPA might be digging up on something that perhaps Mgomezulu may have done in the past, and they are going to come back and use it against him, basically to shut him up. If anybody has any doubt about this case being a fabrication, then I don't know which planet you're living in, because this Mgomezulu issue should be like making you squint a little bit, like, first we had Tefu, who was very vocal about this matter. Now we have Mgomezulu, who's really good at trial within a trial. And the wrong people must be convicted of a crime they did not commit. No, let's definitely charge him and let's stick to it, even if the alleged victim said, I am withdrawing this case. And she's been working with her alleged abuser or whatever the case is for all this time with the Senzo Mewa murder trial. And you are looking and you're like, okay. So that is why I feel a little bit milky about it. And I don't know, maybe as we go along, I may make commentary. But right now, I want all the facts. Truly says, so if they were protecting someone who was in the house, why are they pointing Kelly as the one who ordered the killing? Is it logical to drag someone who knows the truth into accepting a murder? That's a very good question indeed. I don't know, maybe they looked amongst the people that were in the house and looked for the weakest link. It's like a lion. When a lion is going to prey, it always looks for the weakest link. Either the prey is younger or it's limping, or if in case there is all strong praise, they will kind of like use their instincts and think, okay, amongst all those strong buffaloes or the buffalo bulls, I am going to go for that one. So I think that is what Kininda and them were hoping to do. Like they will point at Kelly thinking that she's going to sing like a canary, which I think she will, by the way. I think she will, because she's not going to go down for a crime she did not commit. Would you go down for a crime you did not commit when you know who is the killer? Anyways, that was a good question. Victor says, let me read Victor. Victor says, I'm 100% with you and all those fools that refuse to believe Sifiso, who is telling the public of his experience of the night, but they are refusing the facts that looking them in the eyes. Take the phone by Sifiso and get a phone expert to verify it. It's that simple, period. Just to verify that such a call did happen either on the 26th or on the 27th early morning when that call was made. And we end this whole charade. Portia says, what are the reasons for the SWAT unit to be closed down? From what I hear, it's because of their, how do we put this diplomatically? They're not smart. You know, SWAT needs intelligent people. Yep. They were not smart. That is why the subs realized, let's keep them busy by allegedly using them as torturers, as people, the two people that do all the stuff that Ndanzi and them accused them of. That is what they were good for. Because Ndanzi even said when Jonathan took the stand, every time he looks at him, he feels like crying. That means that man was brutal. Shudi says, problem, you want to solve this case with your logic, ignoring the fact that everyone is a lame brain. Let's wait for the proceedings. Wait for what? That is like asking us to switch off our brains, stop thinking, stop. That is not being a human being, truly. Unfortunately, we are tuned or created to think. That is why the word logic is there. Logic. It doesn't mean that as a human being, first you have to go to school and then, no. As long as you have brain cells, use them. If you want to shut down yours, that's your business. Leave us alone. Now I understand your first comment. I'm taking my commentary back because I thought you were making sense. But now with this one, ma'am, you need to get your IQs hired up. Honestly speaking, there is no way you can come to a public platform and tell the world to stop using their brains. Doesn't work like that. Emily says, Kelly must clear her name if she is innocent. I agree. As a matter of fact, in order for her to clear her name is for her to sing. Really, say who amongst them that pulled the trigger. She knows who pulled the trigger. We have witnesses alive who were present in the house, and they're all still alive. I agree with you, Emily. Tabiso says, and the hitmen don't enter the house and ask for a phone and money. They go to the victim with the hail of bullets, which is sometimes I say they would wash you with the bullets, like wash you. That is why whenever you hear of political killings, you would hear that the car was riddled with bullets. Now, why would this one be with one bullet? That does not make sense. It just doesn't. It doesn't. I think Kininda here, he was doing an overkill of Ndanzi. Overkill. And it missed. Change Gumede says, oh, I love your name. Change Gumede. Mthokozisi Twala once said everything turned sour when Longwe arrived at the Khumalo's place. This is on record. I agree. That is where I also picked up, and made me believe that there is no way that they were intruders. This man walked into a group of people, doesn't greet. One of the boys asked Senzo, Haubanlona, who is this person? And he's not greeting. Clearly, he was mad. He was mad. Why was he mad? That means over the past few hours or days, he's been looking for his girlfriend that he couldn't find. And he heard that they are gathered at the Khumalos, and he went there with a mission. And I think the mission was to petition Zandi. But I think Senzo stood up for Zandi and said, you're not going to do this in front of me. And that's when he got shot. That is just how I see it in my head. I could be wrong, but that's how I see it. I got 3 scenarios, and my 3 scenarios are in my early videos. What could have happened? What I think happened. Let's continue with Bongisiwe, who says, Baloyi uyisi gebengu. Since this case started in lower court, wazi konke okwenzeka. I agree. I won't say he's gebengu. I would say he's slick. Can you believe it? I found out that he went to Oxford University. But that doesn't mean that Oxford University teaches you to be iskebenga. I think you do learn some tactics and tricks because it is one of the best universities in the world, if it's not number 1 after Harvard or whatever the case is. So that is why Rata was making commentary about universities the other day. And I feel like he was watching one of my videos where I talked about UNISA being just as good as Wits University and Stellenbosch And suddenly he's talking about universities. And I'm like, Rada, do you watch my videos? And you were trying to indirectly, not be sarcastic, maybe throwing shade at me. Ooh, Rada. Ooh, thank you for watching, though. You give me watch time. I love that. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I still think you're intelligent, though. I really do. I really do. Anyways, let's continue. This one does not have a name, but it's 45 minutes ago. Is it what? There's no name, it's just a dot. It says, the difficult part that Kelly will face, she was convinced to lie under oath. She cannot start opposing what she said in the statement now. She was actually trapped and she has fallen into that trap. If she opposes what she said in a statement, it will amount to perjury and obstruction of justice. That's very true. She has to come and testify what she had said in a statement. She cannot now turn around and say things that were not in her statement. That's true. She would be committing a crime by lying under oath. So that is why I say, put her in handcuffs, charge her with murder, not conspiracy to commit murder, but with murder. You will see. She'll be like, I ain't going to jail for nobody. And she will sing like Kelly would sing. You know, she's a beautiful singer. Mpashe says, Subs is a joke, really. I think they've gone beyond the label of a joke. The joke is no longer funny, actually. It's no longer funny. It was funny before that we would sit around dinner tables and talk about them and laugh our lungs out, but now, no. Martha says, the truth will prevail, that's for sure. I believe in the truth. Darkness will never prevail over light. Never, ever. Yeah, for now, it may get away, but eventually it will come out. Kelly hired them. They executed the murder. I don't think so. No, I'm sorry. I don't think she did. For what? What would be the good reason for a girlfriend to murder her married married boyfriend? Make it make sense. Because if you're going to talk about life insurance, guess who's the benefactor? It's the wife. If you are going to talk about what I don't know, please do elaborate. Why would Kelly Khumalo murder Senzo? Okay, let's put it this way. You as Martha, who is having an affair, this is not a real scenario, but hypothetically, you are having an affair with a married man, and then you hire hitmen to kill him. Why would you be doing that? Why would you do that? What would be the reason behind that? Because if he's being abusive to you, you can always walk away and he will go back to his wife. But you as mother, why would you have him killed? For what reason? Please elaborate. Martha continues to say, no, sir, you are wrong. Why always protect? There goes the 30%. Let's leave it there. You're a 30%. Thank you. All says our law enforcement in South Africa is corrupted. I feel that I wasted so much time on Martha, the 30%. Why are you always protecting? Where? Sebenzisa ingqondo sis, ilele, vuka emaqandeni. Rita says, I wish hashtag YouTube will get a voice note function so I can speak instead of typing, because I have a lot to say but no energy to type it right now. I think I'll make that I think that recommendation has to be made to YouTube to consider. That's actually a good idea. That's a good idea, because I know a lot of people don't want to type. They would just like to say something in a voice note. That's actually a good idea. I will just, recommend it to YouTube. Okay, let me not butcher this. Let me put it this way. Ref, she says essay and laughs. I don't even say he or she. Sarah says, only God knows about this case. Yeah, God knows. And you know why God knows Sarah? It's because he gave us logic. He gave us a means and ways of looking at things. If things don't make sense, then we're able to say this does not make sense, right? Right? So that is why we do what we do. We are just using what God gave us. Brain cells. We are using our brain cells. That's it. But I agree with you. God knows. God really knows what's going on with this case. But us as well, we know that this is a mess. And they're trying to pin the wrong people for a crime they did not commit. Papa says, what if she was planning a hit on Senzo and did contact the accused, but the hit was not executed because they were still planning when Longwe killed him? That would be a very interesting coincidence. Like, so interesting coincidence. Gininda is using that same planning to pin the crime on the accused in order to protect Longwe. Definitely, I think somebody is being protected. Somebody is a friend of the state. Somebody is a friend, probably powerful people in the country. And they're doing everything they can to protect this one individual and making people that are already known to be Inkabi to take up this rap. That much, yeah, I agree with that. But the first part of your comment, I find it very interesting, like so coincidental. Like, wow. I like it though. Miriam says, I always have a problem with the 30%ers too. Can't even argue with them. Those 5 men didn't kill Senzo. Kelly didn't kill Senzo too. She's never been my favorite person for many reasons, but she didn't do this. The real truth still needs to be told, period. I agree with you, Miriam. I 100% agree with you. As for the 30%ers, I got no time for them. One of them just now tried me. They are brave, these people. Brave. Clearly, she don't watch the video in its entirety where I was addressing the 30%ers. And she comes and says that, you come in, you're always protecting the criminals. Well, my man. Portia says, I agree with you, but she knows who did it. Definitely, she knows who did it. I believe that too. Let's continue with Andy Boy. I've just joined the group. Welcome, Andy. Thank you so much for considering us. Baloy and his gang are busy convincing innocent people in court, and now they've recruited Rata, which I believe all his career was based on corruption. It's sad what is happening in court. A lot of things makes no sense in this case. Absolutely no sense at all. Absolutely. But right now I'm looking at Rata. I was watching the replay. The man is annoyed, like so annoyed at Gininda, because in essence, Rata has been listening to witnesses after witnesses under the trial within a trial. And all these witnesses are the state's witnesses. And comes Gininda and rubbishes all that testimony and brings in new evidence in hitman and new names of people that were hired by Kelly Kumalo. And you're asking yourself why Kelly Kumalo was never arrested then. It's a mess. It's a mess. And Rata is annoyed. Instead of Rata, as a matter of fact, Rata should have shut this down the moment the DNA expert says, none of these 5 men that stand accused of killing Senzo Meyiwa were in the house, because all the witnesses said the hat belonged to the killer. Rata should have said, well, this case, and he throws it out. But no, he's prolonging this because he understands the assignment. That's just my suspicion. Madam Koze says, so Rata was scratching his head when he heard that Ndanzi and Carlos complained about torture. I wonder what he is going to say. Is he going to sit on his ears like the other magistrates did or other judge did? Because definitely that transcript is going to say that indeed they did complain about being tortured and assaulted. Now, this case is starting to look like indeed there was a coercion of the statement being written. Leslie Honolo says, my deepest condolences for you, for your lost clan. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it, Leslie Honolo. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Tobela, how are you, my friend? Clan fam, Clan says, I often boil when I read some oddly foolish comments on this case. Organized lie meant to convince such a bunch. Yeah, because they get paid to come and distort the truth and say things like, Geninda is telling the truth. Rata for president. A whole 70-something-year-old man for president. Really? 30%? Is that 50 rand a day? Yeah, anyways, let's leave it there. Let's leave it there. And then we have people like Shuli that come to our comments to get paid. Not here, sir. Not here, ma'am. Not here. Miriam continues to say, and now they are trying to discredit Ngomezulu by dragging his personal life into this. Apparently, he has a pending case of assault against his wife. And I saw an IOL article about it. The dirty tricks of Geninda Atel are starting. I mean, it was a long time coming. It was long time coming. Whenever Baloy feels that he is losing something, he goes and dig about the opposition. And if they committed anything near what you would call a crime, he will then publish it, discredit the defense. But the facts, you can discredit Ngomezulu. If Ngomezulu really did do what he did, but then again, the alleged victim went and withdrew the case. But then again, I get the seed that they planted in our heads that Ngomezulu is not what we think he is. But then again, evidence. That is what I want to work with. Evidence. Caroline Ngube says, Caroline, I missed you. Caroline Ngube says, you are on point, lenses. He's is afraid to be exposed. Yeah. He's very much afraid of getting exposed. But the transcripts, we're going to be hearing them today. That is if they are there. Ziplo Po says, I also don't trust the police. In another case, witnesses were given a photo of a suspect by the investigating officer so that they can be able to describe and correctly point during ID parade. It was a disgrace in Gempela. They fumbled. They were tripping over each other on that one. Margaret says Geninda will one day be arrested for wonke lamanyala ayenzayo true. But will he though, unless he gets thrown under the bus someday when he's no longer relevant or needs to be used by the state? Maybe. But I get you one day. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. One day. While you are busy dancing on other people's graves, your ceremony is coming too. Charlotte, welcome back to our studio, Zulu man. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry about the tragedy back home. Yeah, no, it was bad. It was bad. Really, really bad. No, thank you. Thank you so much. Noma Swazi says, Son Clancy, well done with your podcast. Kodwa ngane yami kunzima asikhululeni eSouth Africa or asikhululeki eSouth Africa siyabonga son nikwenze konke ngama podcast enu to expose the state. Thank you so much for those beautiful words, even though I do butcher my Zulu. I'm a coconut, people. I'm a coconut. First generation coconut. When I say first generation coconut, that means when South Africa was no longer an apartheid state and then the so-called white schools were taking in black kids. Yeah, I was one of those first when I started out school learning English. And I was taught by an American English teacher and a class teacher as well. So that is why sometimes my accent kind of like confuse people. Like, yeah, that's because my very first teacher that taught me English was an American lady from Philly or Philadelphia, whichever way you want to call it. Let me not butcher this name. Let's say Sanga. Clantis, we won't be surprised if those transcripts won't show up or any other reasons might be explained as to why. Judge will say, okay, Sata freak. I thought about it last night. I was like, we're going to hear stories about this transcript. We're going to hear, what's his name? Baloy flipping on the defense and Rata supporting him because, come on, he needs to protect the state. He understands the assignment, Urad. Okay, I'm going to read 3 more and that will be it. I think I went way over my 15 minutes. But anyways, Muranga says, the baffling part is why would professional hitmen walk into a house with 7 people? What kind of a plan was that? Like, really? Because when you walk in there, you were supposed to be like, not with a revolver. Or even a 9mm. Even with a 9mm for that matter. Come on, this does not make sense. Titi Anna, oh, hi, Titi. Hi. My favorite human being on earth. How are you doing, Titi? Sorry about the tragedy. We thank God always for life, booty. Welcome back. It's a thing to lie. I don't know why I said thing. Let me listen. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Titi. I appreciate you so much. You have no idea how much I appreciate you. Norma says, son, it's so sad, really. Why the High Court is doing this to South Africans by accepting the statements of a dead person? But Ngache's statement was not accepted. It's prayer we need God to heal our country and its citizens. I believe we South Africans, Senzo and 5 accused really make the country sick. Honestly speaking, we are in trouble in this country if we continue to have people like this leading us. Honestly, they are not serving and protecting us. Instead, they want to take us to prisons. I saw a comment last night by somebody who shared with me that they are serving a life sentence of a crime they did not commit. They were accused of being Inkabi, political killings. And he says he never did anything like that. So that means there are many other men that are serving prison sentence of crimes they did not commit. Heinous crimes that they did not commit. And I believe that. And my instincts said, because I could feel what he was saying. But then I'm interested to know if he appealed this matter and where did it get to? Because that's just sad, honestly. Ngamisile says, hi clan, happy new year. Thanks, thank you for being back. Thank you so much, Ngamisile. I appreciate you. Happy new year to you too. Moringa says, okay, we already read Moringa. And we also read TD. I've read your comments. Now I need to read 2 more and that is it. Okay, Senga says, hello Clancis, welcome back. Best wishes and compliments of the new 2024 for you to deliver what you'll have in store for us. Kind regards. Thank you so much, Sega, and also Happy New Year to you too. I appreciate you so much. Ratu says, you are not an expert. Duh. Like I've said it. Duh. 30%er. 30% is not very funny, yo. Okay, lastly, Gladys, what about Guabini? Why is he not there? He is number 6. The meeting was in his house. He is part of the group. Good question. Very good question. Mthokozisi, this is the last comment, Clancis, and the calls. Okay, Mthokozisi says, Clancis, and the calls made between Kelly and Chico. The role of Chico in the case, that has nothing to do with him, is really alarming. That's very true. And that also needs to be checked out by the investigators if such a call did indeed go through to Chico Twala. And why would Chico Twala be running around after an adult and covering up for his things and speaking on behalf of an adult? That's it. So he should have just said, listen, he's an adult. He can solve this mess on his own. I was not there. I did not send him. And what about his revolver that got lost around the same time that Senzo Mayo was murdered? Yeah. We are aware of so many allegations which may turn into facts someday. But one day is one day. Guys, thank you so much for your comments. Of course, I couldn't get through all of them. All of them, I've read them. I trust and believe me, I read all of them. And I appreciate you so very much for participating. Those that are new on the clan, welcome to the clan. I hope you are going to enjoy yourself. And feel free to make your comments. Please don't make 30% of comments. I'm not an expert. Yes, I'm not an expert. I'm not an expert. But you know what I do have? And I rub my two IQs together and I try to make sense of what I'm hearing or seeing. I'm not going to shut down my brain. Unfortunately, it's just not going to happen. And let me tell you something about the members of the clan. They're not going to do that too, because they also rub their two IQs. And that is why we have the self-appointed experts comments. Thank you all. See you next time. Goodbye.